So an hour before the recording of this video, a trade was discussed between the LA Kings and the Toronto Maple Leafs regarding Patrick Marleau. Now, this is all according to Pierre LeBrun, who's an insider/journalist for TSN, which is based out of Toronto, Ontario. Now, I know this kind of sounds laughable, and you're looking at, okay, Pierre LeBrun, okay, he's nuts, he's out of his mind. The LA Kings have just under $12 million in cap space. Why would they want to take another aging vet? They're trying to get younger, not older. They're sort of rebuilding on the go kind of thing. You know, LA shouldn't have even haven't even picked up Ilya Kovalchuk last season. That was really a brain fart of a move, almost as bad as a Jack Johnson signing by Rutherford in Pittsburgh. Now, of course, Kovalchuk is signed to the 2021 season. He's making $6,250,000, just as Patrick Marleau is. Patrick Marleau has one more year on his deal, but he just didn't have a good season last year. I think it was his lowest goal total since he entered the league. It was like 17 goals, and he ended up with was around 45 points, 40 points, something around there. The point is that there's no reason for LA to do this, right? But Pierre LeBrun, for my part, he also writes for The Athletic. So he's someone you give some credibility to, other than some other journalists who've been talking about Mitch Marner lately, who happen to work for the same broadcasting company. In any case, we all know Todd McLellan is going to be coaching in LA for next season, starting next season. So there's a connection there between Marleau and McLellan, because they were both in San Jose for many years together. They have a good relationship. LA just happens to be also a lot closer to San Jose, obviously, which is where Patrick Marleau still owns his home and where his kids grew up, etc., etc. So there's something to be said about that, but there's still, why would LA do that? And Patrick Marleau probably wants to go to a contender. He doesn't want to go to a rebuilding team in what will probably be the final year of his playing career, right? Well, there's something to be said about last year's Washington Capitals Colorado Avalanche Brooke Orpik's trade. Now, if you remember that one, you can just hit silent for a minute. But basically what happened was the Capitals traded Brooks Orpik and Philip Grubauer, the backup goaltender, to the Avalanche for, I don't know, well, I can't even remember what that went back the other way, maybe a 7th-round pick or something. It was a salary dump because Washington needed the space in order to sign some of their players, and so they sweetened the deal by giving them Grubauer, which is exactly what Colorado needed, a goaltender at the time, because Varlamov at that point only had one more year left on his deal, which is now expired. And so everyone, was happy. Colorado ended up buying out Brooks Orpik contract, which was probably discussed, I would imagine, before that trade was made. And then Brooks Orpik went and re-signed with Washington for a lot less for the following season. The season just passed. So it was a win-win for everyone. Could the Leafs kind of exploit this same loophole? Possible. If Marleau, but why not LA then? It could be really any team with a lot more cap space, you would imagine, right? If he's just going to get bought out and just go and then re-sign with, could be Toronto, could be San Jose, any one of those teams afterwards for probably a lot less money, then why does it have to be LA? Especially seeing as how maybe they're one of the only ones who haven't bought out any players yet. I haven't researched that part of it, but maybe it's because Kyle Dubas and Rob Blake know each other well. Maybe it's because this is the only GM or team, let's say, that Pierre LeBrun could get any information from when it comes to that. Dubas could be talking to a lot of other teams about the same kind of deal, and I'm sure he's talked to quite an extent with Patrick Marleau about this in order so that everyone's on the same page. So it's interesting, to say the least. As always, I would love to hear what you think about where this might be going, because it's not a bad idea. Toronto's got to make space for, obviously, Mitch Marner and Kasperi Kapanen and Andreas Johnsson to re-sign those three guys, especially Marner, of course. So getting rid of Marleau's contract, and of course Nikita Zaitsev, the right-handed defenseman, who's got 5 more years at $4.5 million. They're trying to get a trade done with him as well, not just because of cap space, but because he came out and said he wanted a fresh start for personal reasons. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. Maybe he can't take the pressure of Toronto. He had a great first season when he was there, but the last 2, not so much. Although he did play really well in the playoffs with Jake Muzzin, so I think put under special circumstances, he could probably succeed again. In any case, let me know what you have to say in the comment section down below. Hit like if you like this video. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. And hey, if you happen to have any Hockey Geek friends, please don't feel shy about sharing. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.